Greetings. Welcome back to another installment from tcatkinson.com. My name is TC Atkinson, and I am your resident first generation American African of Jamaican descent. And I am so excited to celebrate today. Today officially marks 2,421 days that I have been in business. Oh, I wish there were some balloons that were just going to be falling down, like confetti and balloons, and psh, psh, fireworks or something that's going on, but we leave it up to the imagination. So today I want to talk to you guys about my top 3 lessons that I have learned in being in business for 2,421 days. Now keep in mind, I've been trying to be in business for a whole lot longer, right? So I've tried reselling, from doing what's that called, retail arbitrage, where I go to Goodwill and then I buy clothes and I sell it on eBay. I've also done Amazon, where you do your Kindle books and things like that, and I even still get paid from that. But I wouldn't mark those. Yes, I did make money with them, but I would not mark those as successes. Yes, they were confirmations, but when I say successfully been in business, I mean that I have daily sales that are coming in. They are predictable, they are consistent, and they are able to not only sustain my lifestyle, but allow me to contribute to the world, because it's my belief and understanding that the world is really shaped by businesses. If you think about all the changes, even if you look at laws and regulations, it really comes down to businesses, right? So my top 3 lessons, let's dive into them right now. So you all know I have my notes because I get organized and I plan before I do my YouTubes. And the first lesson, all right, the first is, but little segue before we dive into all the lessons. I know, right? I'm just hyping you up. But before we dive into the lessons, if you want like more biz tips, if you want business hacks, if you want guidance in your business journey, definitely text me. All right. The word that you're going to text is income. So send the word income to my number. It's 954-758-5435. Okay. If you text me the word income to my number 954-758-5435, then you'll definitely be in my private group, where I'm going to be giving out different business tips and business hacks to help you on your business journey. So now that I'm done, right, with my little segue, little intermission, all right, let's dive into lesson number 1, right? So this is such a major and such a critical lesson. And it's because a lot of people, they say, don't do business with your family, don't do business with your friends. And in my personal experience, it's not necessarily that you shouldn't do business with your friends or you shouldn't do business with your family. The reality is that you need to do business with people who are of the right mindset, right? And of the right execution, right? They have the right amount of execution to make that business successful. And in my experience with doing, because I've done business with my friends, right? And I've also done business with my family. And when I compare the two, business that I've done with my family, except for my mom, I do business with my mom all the time, and we are literally like great business partners. But any other family member that I've done business with, it has not worked out. Whereas my friends, I've done business with so many of my friends at different levels, and it was productive and it was profitable, and there was no hitch, there was no glitch. We didn't our friendship did not break up or anything like that. And in fact, our friendship got more solid because they had the right type of business mindsets. Now, the difference between my family members versus my friends in regards to the success of doing business with these two groups, right, was mindset. And it comes down to poverty mindset, right? Thinking that, oh, something's not going to work. And also the work ethic, right? So you're putting in the time, you're putting in the energy, you, like, as in me, myself, but the other person, because they don't see the vision, they're not really committed to executing, right? Then it doesn't work out. So I would love to do business, right? Think about it. If you really sit back and think about it, the Rockefellers, okay, the Kennedys, all right, the Bushes, all right, these are all family conglomerates, right? Johnson's and Johnson's, like these are all family conglomerates. Even on Walmart, that conglomerate right there, they're all built around families and families working together. And so, if you are really someone that is really serious about having a business that truly changed the world, changed the landscape of the world, which I am, then you would want to be in business with your family. And it will be a great benefit to be in business with your family. But the reality is, like I've said before, it's not that you should not do business with your friends or should not do business with your family members. You have to do business with people that are business minded. That is it. You have to do business with people that are business minded. So in 2016, I started a business with one of my family members, and we're selling cakes, right? So it was like handmade cakes, and it was more of a local business. We weren't shipping or anything like that. And the business was really, really successful. The only problem was the family member was dropping the ball, right? Because they weren't seeing the greater vision, right? They were kind of on, and that leads into my second major lesson about what I've learned, right, in doing business for the last 2,421 days, is that they had such a constricting mindset, like, oh, this may not work, or oh, this has to be this exact way. But when you look at the grand scheme of everything, it doesn't fit. Like, it is not a good model, right? And so that was one major thing. And then my next experience with doing business with family is, I launched a travel, like a tourism company with one of my family members, and that was in 2018. And that business to this date has yet to bring a return back at all. The first business, the cake business that I started in 2016 with a family member, I ended up dissolving that business like about like 2.5 months later because of that critical work ethic part. And mind you, I already had a successful business, right? A successful business to some extent, right? Because as the years go by, your business should be growing in more and more and more success. So that's why I say at that time it was successful, but now it's like more successful. So, at that time. So anyway, so at the end of the day, I had to make a decision when it came down towards the end of that year in 2016 to decide what was I going to give my energy to and what could I afford to continue investing in. Does it make more sense to continuously try to pour into a bakery or a cake business in which the other partner isn't really fulfilling their end of the bargain, or the other partner isn't really seeing the full vision of what the business could really be if they just aligned with the structure that was really going to be conducive to bringing in real profits? And I decided that I did not want to do that. So if you are the person that is thinking like, oh, I'm already in a family business and it may not be working out for you, don't feel obligated that you should stay in your family business if it's just not something that's not within your heart, right? You definitely need to focus on doing things that are going to bring love, joy, happiness to you. Why? Because when your day is done, you don't ever get a chance to redo that day. So if you don't get a chance to redo that day, then you need to make sure that every single day that you are alive, you have the gift of life, that you are able to work in things that are really going to make you happy and not try to live your life for other people. Right. And so that's the decision that I had to make. And now, how did it turn out? Because of who that family member was, right? Not because we were related, right? Not because we're relatives, right? Not because we have our family structured, right? No, but because of who that person was, right? How they saw life, how they thought that they should go about life, how they thought about themselves in relation to other people. They took me deciding that I didn't want to do business with them from a negative perspective, right? They took it as though I was trying to get over on them because I didn't want to do business with them. And I'm just like, I don't want to do business with you, but I am going to be focusing on these things over here. Yes, we are going to finish selling through, right? Because we had all this products, right? That the person that family member did not produce, right? So yes, we are going to finish selling through the product and the inventory that we personally made. But at the end of the day, I don't want to do business with you, and I'm not going to continue this business because I'm not passionate about the cake business like that. I am someone that is passionate about business. I care about your sales. I care about you making profitable sales. I care about me making profitable sales. But I'm not necessarily an advocate like that. Like, oh, we have to sell these cakes. Yes, we have to sell them to meet our bottom line, but I don't need to be in the cake business to make money. Right. However, that person, because of their worldview, because of their scarcity mindset, because of poverty mindset, and keep in mind, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you can still have a poverty mindset. And that's what I'm saying. 9% of entrepreneurship, of being successful in entrepreneurship, is about mastering the 90%, which is your mind. It's that thing between your ears. It's that thing that sits at the top of your head. It's that thing that your skull protects. It's your mind. And so that's how that instance, right, of me doing business with a family member, that's how it ended. Now in 2018, like I said, I went into a family business where we were doing tourism and all of that. And the realities is I invested $35,000 into that business. The first one in 2016, I invested around like $2,000. And then I did get my money back, right? I did get my money back from the 2016 family investment. But then in 2018, I made an investment of $35,000. And to this day, I haven't recouped on those investments. And I have also decided that, no, I don't want to do business with you. Why? Because of who you are as a person. Remember, business is not personal, right? But you have to understand the person you are doing business with. Did you catch that? Business is not personal, but you have to understand the person you are doing business with. All right. And you guys need to make sure that you are on the same frequency, that you're on the same wavelength. Why? Because you can't move forward if one person is like in the back. Right. If you are someone that has amazing ideas, if you're someone that is an executioner, if you're someone that gets things done, but you're in a business partnership with someone who has scarcity mindset, has poverty mindset, has an outlook on life, like people are trying to get over, right? When the reality is that, but wait a second, you're not doing your part. You are not doing your part. Let's have a conversation about what is really happening here, right? And so that is the realities of that. So now what am I saying, right? Because I'm discussing, today marks 2,421 days that I've been in business, and I'm just discussing with you guys the top 3 lessons that I have learned that really governs me moving forward into the next 2,421 days, right, of me doing business. And lesson number 1 is really dispelling the myth that you can't do business or you shouldn't do business with friends and family. And the reason why people say that is because they're saying that, oh, well, if you do business with friends and family, you're going to lose that relationship. And for me, I welcome doing business with friends and family. Why? Because when you do business, you only really know people 3 ways: when you do business with them, when you travel with them, or when you live with them. Those are really the only 3 ways that you will know who someone is, like seriously is. And then even then, you will only know maybe 95%, because there's always a certain percentage that people reserve for themselves, right? There is, like, I don't care how long you've been with someone, how long you've known someone, you are not going to be in their head when they're waking up, right, in the morning time, or when they're going to sleep, right before they go to sleep. Or you're not going to be with them in their head in the shower, or when they're in the bathroom. You're not going to be in that intimate space with them, so you won't really know what is really their true concerns, right? And so those are the 3 ways that you really, really get to know someone: when you do business with them, when you travel with them, or when you live with them. So I welcome doing business with people, because that is when I will really know who you are at your core, and not just some superficial thing. So if I do business with someone and the relationship doesn't last past our business engagement, right, our business partnership, I am fully okay with that. Why? Because I would know who you really are. I don't want to have pseudo relationships. I don't want to have relationships with people's representative. I want to have relationships, whether it's family relationships, friend relationships, or romantic relationships, with people at who as they are as a person. And so long story short, It's not that you cannot do business with family and friends. I've done business with friends. I've made a whole lot of money doing business with friends, right? Why? Because of who they were. I've done business with family members, and I have literally at this point lost almost $100,000 at this point, right? But why? Because of who they were, right? Because of who they were. And you may look at the situation and say like, oh, well, maybe it's you because you're the main, how people like say, oh, well, you're the common denominator in that equation, so it's you. And you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe it was me because I was trying to see something in them that wasn't there. Because I am super, super big on business. Why? Because my ability to make profitable sales has literally saved my life and given me a life that I could not even imagine, right? My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017, and my mother is still here. Why? Because I was able to use my financial resources to give her some level of treatment that allowed her to have a much different outcome than some people that she was going through treatment with. And so, because of that, I would never apologize for how I do business. Why? Because business literally is a lifesaver, and there's not, it's like you apologizing to somebody because you want to breathe. I'm not apologizing because I want to breathe. I need oxygen, right? Or you try to apologize to someone because you need to eat. No, or you need to drink water. That's what business is to me. It is my breath. It is my food, right? It is my lifeblood. So I would never apologize for doing business with someone. But because of that outlook, I'm always seeing like, hey, like, when something's gonna work for someone and you're like, listen, I'm trying to tell you, this is the way. Wake up, come on, you can have a totally different life. So I be trying to wake people up. But because of that, that is why, in my opinion, right? If I'm going to look at myself like, dang, like, how did you get yourself in those situations? Because I was seriously just looking at them like, hey, we can do this. Like, you can have a totally different life. And me seeing it from my perspective and I guess superimposing like my work ethic or my views about life and my views about money onto other people, and not really just assessing it like, how did you get into the space in life? Like, how did you get into the space in life? And then really just saying, okay, maybe this is not a good idea. But I'm glad I went through it. Why? Because now I'm more fearless when it comes to doubling down and investing in myself. Like before, when it comes to self investment, before I went through doing business with family, I was a person that was like, oh, I don't know, maybe this is a good investment, maybe it's not a good investment, maybe I should spend my money, quote unquote, more wise doing something else, right? Whereas now I'm just like, screw that. I'm doubling down on me. If I can spend almost $100,000 and invest it in family businesses that did not work out, ain't no way ain't no way I'm not investing the same amount or more into what I know that I can execute on, right? Into what I know I can follow through on. So because of those reasons, I am not the person that's going to agree with someone saying, oh, you shouldn't do business with family or friends. I've made tons of money with friends, haven't made money with family, except for my mom. I've made buku money with my mom. She is integral. She's integral. She's an integral partner to my success. And I'm also an integral partner to her business success as well. So I will always do business with my mom. Anybody else? I have trainings and courses that you can take. I have trainings and courses. But I will not be doing any type of financial investments. No. If you're a friend, right, and you want me to financially invest in whatever business idea, yeah, let's rock it. I made money with friends. We'll keep doing that going forward. But yes, you guys, please, 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 please look at the person. Don't just assess someone on whether they are a friend. Oh, don't do business with them because they're your friend, or whether, oh, they're my partner, I'm sleeping with them or something. Like, don't do business with them. I wouldn't say that. Or if they're family members, I wouldn't say don't do business with them. I would say assess the person. What is their mindset? Like, what are their money habits, right? And ask yourself, why are they not successful on their own? right? Because if they're not successful on their own, that's a key indicator as to what their trajectory will be going forward. All right, so that's lesson number one. I know it was long, right? Lesson number one. But hey, these are my top 3 lessons that I have learned in doing business successfully for the last 2,421 days. All right, so now number 2, right? Number 2, trust. Lesson number 2. When it comes to being successful in business, you must trust, because without trust, you won't be able to build a scalable business. If you don't trust, then that means you lack confidence, right? You lack confidence in something working. And I was that person. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, I could be so much bigger, right, in success within my businesses had I trusted a whole lot earlier, right? Had I trusted that software was going to work for me, I'd been so much more successful. Had I trusted that hiring was going to be the best decision, I would have been so much more successful. Had I trusted just outsourcing other parts of my business, I would have been so much more successful. Like, so much more successful. Or even trusted that if I invest, let's say X amount of dollars in marketing with someone, then I would have had way more sales, right? But it's that trust factor, that confidence. Like for instance, when it comes down to, I always say this, a lot of people, you don't have a sales problem. You don't have problems selling your product. You just are not marketing correctly. I say this all the time. And that's from my personal experience, right? Because when I started to effectively market, I was always in back orders and sold out. Why? Because I didn't have a sales problem. I did not have a problem explaining to people what my product was. My problem was I was not explaining it to enough people. I was not getting out in front of enough people to let them know that, hey, my business existed and I can solve their problems. And so that goes back to trust, which is lesson number 2 that I've learned in running a successful business for 2,421 days. And for a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, and like I said, this was me, right? Because, and here's the thing too, when it comes down to it, at different stages, right, over the last 2,421 days, I've had to become a different person at different stages. So if you are meeting me here today on day number 2,421, I am a totally different person. Now, the foundation, right? Is the foundation the same? Yes. But when it comes down to my mindset, I'm totally different, like totally different. And so, for instance, I give you a few examples. When I was just starting out, I was hand typing my addresses, right? My shipping labels. I was on USPS.com, hand typing the first name, last name, the address, the city, state, zip, their email, their phone number, right? And then it took me, look, 3 hours to just do 50 orders. 3 hours to just do 50 orders of manually typing it in to USPS, sending it out, and then printing and all of that. Now, or since then, I use software. I use software, and literally to create, let's say 500 labels is like 3 seconds. But I had to trust, right? I had to trust that, oh, if I spend, I guess what it is now, like $49 for the software, right? $49 for the shipping software, that it is going to work for me, right? I had to trust that the software is going to work for me. Another thing, I was in 2017, I wanted to collaborate with an influencer, but at the time, the influencer's price was $800, something like that. And then through us communicating over a month time period, she increased her price by like $200. And then I was just like, oh no, it was $700 was her original price. Then she increased it to $200, which makes it $900. And I was just like, because I did not trust, because I did not have confidence that influencer marketing was going to work in my business's favor, I was like, oh, well, can you go down back to the original price that we agreed on, which was at $700? And then can I pay you through PayPal? Long story short, I never ended up collaborating with that influencer. And that influencer really had a lot of engagement on their page, and they were a really good fit for my brand. But because I lacked trust, that, hey, even though the influencer it did increase their price after we was talking about $700, they increased it to $900, $200 more, because I did not trust that I was going to get a return on my investment of $900 investing in marketing with that influencer. I missed out on a lot of awareness and a lot of advertising for my business. So that's what I'm saying. I could have been a lot more successful sooner, earlier, if I had trust. And even hiring, right? Even hiring someone to come and do customer service. I was someone that had bad customer service in my business. Now my customer service is way better. Why? Because I've developed the trust, right? My trust muscle within my body, within my business has grown, has been strengthened. Why? Because I know, hey, I am literally hindering myself if I lack trust. So that's what I'm saying when it comes down to being successful in business. Tip number 2, or lesson number 2, that I've learned over the last 2,421 days is that you must trust. You must trust the process. You must trust the process. And let's say you do something and it doesn't give you that immediate return that you're looking for, you are still getting way more ahead of the curve, right? You're always learning. You're always learning. You're always learning. You're always learning. All right. So lesson number 3. Lesson number 3. And keep in mind, you guys, if you all want more biz tips and strategies and things like that and hacks, definitely text me. But I need you to text the phrase or text the word income. Text the word income to 954-758-5435. Okay, 954-758-5435. And you must send the word. Just send the word income. Don't send anything else, because you send something else, then my system is not going to pick you up and then you won't be in the proper group. All right. So don't screw yourself now. Don't screw yourself. All right. So now lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is about taking action. All right. So here's the thing. I've heard this in 2017. I heard someone say this, and they said money loves speed. Money loves speed. I'm gonna say it again. Money loves speed. Why does money love speed? Because when you are engaging in speed, right, that means you're taking action. That means you are condensing the time from you having an idea to you launching and getting the idea out there, so that way the idea can be vetted by the marketplace. And when I say the marketplace, I mean that people who you want to be of service to, they can give you feedback. And in that feedback, that's that data that you're going to get. And I always say the dollars are in the data. I always say this, the dollars are in the data. How do you get data? You have to launch. I was working with someone earlier this year, and they said that it took them 7 years from the time they had an idea to the time that they started working with me and they actually saw their business idea materialize into a real website where someone can go literally and buy from them. 7 years. And I'm like, wow, look at all the opportunity that was being missed. Now, there's always a thing. Oh, there's a time and a place for everything. For me, my time and place is today. Okay, today is the day. That's the time and place. Today is the day. And so, because today is the day, you have to take action, because the dollars are in the data. If you don't take action, then you're not going to know if your idea you have is being presented in the right format, or the idea that you have is being presented to the right people. Because you may have a great idea, but you're telling the wrong people. And that's a mismatch. It's not going to work. Now, you may have a bad idea, but you're telling it to the right people, and that's a mismatch. It's not going to work. So what's a bad idea? A bad idea may be the way that you are presenting it, right? You may not be using the right words to convey what you are actually offering to the people that you're trying to be of service to, right? So those are my top 3 lessons, right? My top 3 lessons of being in business for the last 2,421 days successfully, right? Because the 2,421 days ago is when I filed my business registration with the state, right? I actually filed my business registration with the state. All my online endeavors before that, I was not registered with the state. I was not doing any of those things. I was really trying to figure out how to make money online. I was trying to figure out, well, what was going to be my way. And I say that because there are so many ways. The opportunities are endless. I just got off the phone with literally someone that is so near and dear to my heart, and she presented this amazing idea. And I'm just like, dang. And I thought, I was like, dang, opportunities are endless. The opportunities are endless. So if you are not making consistent income and you don't have, it's one thing to not make consistent income and you have a business, right? But if you don't have a business and you are not making consistent income online, you need to find your way. You need to start doing some dibbling dabbling, doing some exploration, trying to figure out, well, what's going to work for me? What do you like? What don't you like? Because you can make money doing what you like. You can make money doing what you like and what you love. All right. So if you're having any issues and trying to figure things out, just say, I can make money doing what I like and what I love. I can make money doing what I like and what I love. I can make money doing what I like and what I love. I just need to figure it out because the opportunities are endless. The opportunities are endless. And those are my top 3 tips. Tip number, or top 3 lessons. Lesson number 1, you have to do business with the people or with the person that is ready to do business. It's not about, oh, you can't do business with your friends, or it's not about you can't do business with your lover. It's not about you can't do business with your family. It's about you can do business with people who are ready for you to do business with. All right. And when I say ready, it's a mindset, it's a work ethic, right? It's a mindset and a work ethic. Lesson number 2 is about trust, right? When I didn't have trust, meaning I didn't have confidence that something was going to work out, even though it was already a proven method, right? Then that stopped me or prevented me or slowed me down from getting the right software that I need in my business, hiring the right people when I needed to hire them, right? And also utilizing the right amount of services, right? Outsourcing different services. Lesson number 3 that I've learned in the last 2,421 days of successfully being in business is that you must. When I say must, I mean it's a must. Take action. Okay. You must take action. Why? Because when you take action, then you'll be able to see what sticks, what doesn't stick, what works, what doesn't work. And in that process, you are gathering data, and the dollars are in the data. So with that being said, you guys, please remember, if you want more business tips, all right, if you want more business tips, definitely send me a text with the word income. Don't send anything else because you will not be picked up by my system. Okay. So send me the word income to the number 954-758 5435. Once again, send me the word income if you want business tips, you want to have business conversations, you need help and guidance in your business. All right. You want to know what's going on with my upcoming business classes and my resources related to business. Send me the word income to the number 954-758 5435. And with that being said, you guys, I am TC Atkinson. I am your resident first generation American African of Jamaican descent. And I am a millennial 7-figure entrepreneur. And I mainly make money manufacturing and formulating products that go direct to customer. However, I will be taking you all on my journey of entrepreneurship because this is serving as my online public diary, my online public journal, where I share my different endeavors and how I make money and how I use it. So with that being said, see you guys, and leave a comment, drop a comment down below, subscribe, share it out. Don't be stingy with the information now. Share this out to someone that you know is in business so that way they can get on the right track faster. All right. So I see you guys.